The men's bracket has been announced, and the 4-1 seeds are Alabama, who's the overall number 1 seed, Houston, Kansas, and Purdue. Of those 4 teams, Kansas is the only to have won a national title and are the reigning national champs. It is great to have Seth Greenberg with us now to get us ready for what should be a wild tournament. Coach, how we doing? I got 5 miles in yesterday. Are you feeling good?
Feeling good, Molly. You should be feeling good. I mean, your team, I don't know. I'm just saying.
We're gonna get there. I'm a little nervous. We're gonna get there. But what?
5 miles? 5 miles? You got in 5 miles.
Yeah, it took me an hour and a half, but yeah,
Molly's not playing. She's not playing.
Okay.
Stephen A. Walking, not running.
Okay.
Walking.
All right. I'm just
About
checking.
the fresh air. Okay,
Just
got to get grounded. All right, let's stay focused here. Don't worry, we're getting to my Huskies, but not yet. All right, which 1 seed would you say, Coach, is the most vulnerable?
I'd say it's Purdue, and it has a lot to do with where Duke was seated. This is a Duke basketball team. They won the ACC. They're 18-1 with their whole lineup, and this is a Duke team with an elite defensive team. Over the last 9 games, they're holding their opponents to 39% from the field. They're an elite offensive rebounding team, but also they got a bunch of dudes. They have 2 7-footers. Derek Lively blocks out the sun, and Kyle Filipowski is one of the toughest matchups in college basketball. On the perimeter, Tyrese Proctor can guard the basketball. Jeremy Roach knocks down shots. They've got terrific depth. Duke is playing like a number 1 seed that's seeded at number 5.
Go
Go ahead, Molly. I'm
is
listening.
that okay? Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Who do you have in your Final Four?
My Final Four: Alabama, Duke, Texas, and UConn.
Really?
Okay.
Really?
right.
See.
Can I keep
I got
going?
questions about that. Why UConn, Coach? Why UConn? Because Molly here? Because
hold on.
Molly's here?
Hold on.
Why UConn, Coach?
Wait, before you go, Coach, let me say this. Okay. You, Reese, LaFonso, and Jay Billis all have UConn in the Final Four. And I just have to say this. It's actually giving me a little bit of anxiety. Did you watch the Marquette game? First of all, shout to Marquette and Shaka Smart. I thought they had like Steph Curry out there. It was ridiculous with the threes. But honestly, Coach, I'm a little nervous. They have Iona in the first matchup with Rick Pitino, who is trying to get the St. John's job. I could see them potentially losing that. And then you guys have them going all the way.
Molly, why do you have to go to negative town? Seriously,
I'm just
why do you have to
telling
go?
you, like,
hey,
I'm nervous.
Rick
The fact that
Pitino,
you're all picking them.
This is a Big East preview maybe for Rick Pitino. Who knows? Well, look, it's real simple. When you look at this Connecticut team, all right, they're an elite defensive team. They've got a dominant inside player in Adama Sanogo, and Donovan Clingan backs him up. All right, is kind of like Zach Edey in the waiting. Jordan Hawkins, now that dude's got to show up. Jordan Hawkins, right now, you cannot disappear. The stage is set for you to make a big-time impact in the NCAA tournament. He's not a good shooter. He's an elite shooter. He's got to be an aggressive shooter. Now, my only concern about this UConn team is point guard play. They cannot pitch it away. They got to be good with the basketball. They've got depth. They've got size. They've got athleticism. They're an elite defensive team. Sanogo should be dominant in the paint. And on the perimeter, there are not a lot of guys that can make shots like Jordan Hawkins. I think the thing about this, we all talk about Alabama. Alabama, the best team in college basketball. They're the team I have winning it all. You got to remember now, in Portland, who beat Alabama? UConn.
Yeah.
UConn, when they're at their very best and they're back to close to being where they were early in the season, they are a tough out because of their depth, their size, their athleticism, shot making, and not very many guys have 14 feet, basically a post player between Sanogo and Donovan Clingan.
Yeah, but can't turn the ball over, you're right. And we don't really have a true point guard. I mean, Tristan Newton's done a nice job. But
you're doing your homework
Stephen
right
A,
there, Molly.
You're allowed to speak now, Stephen A. You can speak.
I'm in no position to refute what you're saying. I haven't seen enough college basketball this year. I've caught a few games, Texas, Kansas, Kentucky. I only saw UConn once this year. I got that. Purdue, I've watched them, etc. You know I had to watch my man Mike Woodson in Indiana. Okay, I got to support my brother right there, whatever. Let me just throw out, because it's all a crapshoot with these brackets. I've never gotten them right. Let me be very clear about that. But, Coach, I'm going to roll with this right now. Me and Jay Billis was side by side in the past. We got a couple of stuff right. Let me give you my Final Four, and I wanted your thoughts, okay? Coach, I got Duke at a 5 seed, Indiana at a 4 seed out of the Midwest, UCLA as a 2 seed out of the West, and Alabama, not football, basketball, Alabama Alabama with arguably the best player in the nation in Brandon Miller. I'm just saying, I'm looking out. I watched Alabama. I'm looking at them. They've been consistent. I watched the Memphis game yesterday, by the way, them win their conference. That was a good game. Houston almost came back, almost erased a 19-point deficit, but Memphis was able to pull away. I watched Texas just shellac KU by 20, for crying out loud. I was taken aback by that one, but I'm just looking at it and I'm saying, excuse me, Alabama's a #1 seed for a reason. Could you imagine if Alabama basketball walked away with a national championship in a football town like that? That would be unbelievable. We shall wait and see. But again, I got Alabama. I can't sleep on Duke. And you're right. UConn's no joke, but I'm still going with UCLA and Indiana, Coach.
All right, let's take a look. First of all, Alabama has the best NBA prospect in the NCAA tournament. It's Brandon Miller. I mean, he's part like Kevin Durant, part like Paul George. So you're right on that one. UCLA, if they were healthy, I would agree with you. But, you know, to me, when Adem Bona, he did not play in the Pac-12 championship, so there's a little bit of concern. They're already without Jalen Clark. So I love your Duke pick because when I look at Duke, they were misseeded. It's just, to me, now Indiana, obviously Trace Jackson Davis. He can take a team to a deep run.
Yes.
Here's my problem with Indiana, Stephen A. And I'm a big Mike Woodson's fan as well. They never validate a big win. They win a game, they lose a game. They win a game, every time they get a big win, that next game, they don't show up. They don't show up. You know, hey, here's the deal. Hey, with NIL and everything else that's going on in college basketball, you need to show up every single night. Can Indiana, night in and night out, show up and be ready to play? They've got a unique talent, Trace Jackson Davis. They got a unique talent, Jalen Hood-Schifino. My question is, you know what? You can't pick and choose when you're going to compete because in the NCAA tournament, you pick that wrong day, and you know what you do? You go home. So my Indiana, I like it. It's a little bit of a reach. You might have to give them a little pep talk about showing up each and every night.
I am giving them a pep talk. You want to go home early? Or you want to handle your business? Mike Woodson's a damn good coach. I love the fact that he's got them in the NCAA tournament. They got the pieces. I've had questions about their point guard play in the past, me myself. But the bottom line is this. They can get it done, and I believe they're going to go to the Final Four. Yeah. That's what I'm picking.
It's so funny. You've never had UConn on the Final Four. Coach, before I kick it back to you, Stephen A., what if we do this? Both of our brackets, Stephen A. and I are filling out brackets that'll be on ESPN.com. Anyone can check it out. Whoever's bracket gets busted first has to buy the other person a pair of shoes. Are you in?
Oh,
I'll do it, but I'll do it, but I want the world to know Molly cheats all the time. She cheated in fantasy football. She's going to cheat in this. Because what she's going to do, Coach, is because she's going to go to y'all. She ain't going to just pick them themselves. She's going to reach out to you, Coach, and Jay Billis and everybody. She's going to make a pick by pick. That's what she's going to do. That's what she's going to cheat.
There's one more disclaimer.
Jimmy Choo shoes are pretty expensive now.
Yeah, no. There's one more disclaimer. Stephen A., I can pick out whatever shoes I want from Saks or Bergdorf, and you can pick out whatever shoes you want from Marshalls or TJ Maxx.
I am not buying any shoes from Marshalls or TJ Maxx.
Coach, tell me this. Which first-round matchup, we're doing it, we're absolutely doing it, is the most intriguing? You can go to Macy's. Okay, relax. You can go to Macy's.
Okay. I like Macy's.
To me, Penn State, Texas A&M. Penn State, they got to the finals of the Big Ten tournament. They got a guy named Jalen Pickett, who's maybe one of the more unique players in the tournament. 6 foot, 8-inch point guard. They back him down. They got 4 shooters all around him. He is an absolute brutal matchup. When I think about this Penn State team, about 47% of the shots come from the three-point line. They don't turn it over. They don't give you second shots. So what does Texas A&M do? Texas A&M turns you over, and they get to the offensive glass. At times, they struggle scoring it. So when I look at an intriguing matchup, that's probably the one. That 7-10 is kind of an interesting matchup. I'll tell you another one that's going to be just the most fun matchup to watch. Utah State, Missouri. I'll tell you what, Dennis Gaines done an amazing job at Missouri. And both of these teams score about 35% of their points from the three-point line. This game is going to go up and down. It's going to be freewheeling. And the Kobe Brown from Missouri is a matchup nightmare. Stephen Ashworth for Utah State is a matchup nightmare because he moves so well without the ball.
Yeah.
You talk about over-under, I would take the over in this one because these dudes are a bunch of shot makers. That game will be as fun to watch as any in the tournament.
Right. Well, I think all the expertise you just dropped is not going to help Molly, but you can get me my shoes from Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and Macy's. How about all three? That'll work for me.
We're doing it. We're doing it. And we'll pick the same store, but we're doing it. Are you in?
I'm
Virtual
in.
handshake?
I'm in.
Okay,
I'm
let's
in.
go. Let's get it.
I'm a man of my
Okay.
word. I'm in. I'm going to beat you. I'm
We're
going to
start
beat
doing
you. I'm not
bets
going to lose
for
to you.
everything, for the finals, for the Super Bowl, all of it, because I always get it better than him. But people don't know that. We're going to start.
True. That is
Let's
a
go.
lie.
Still to come.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.